Hey, welcome to video number 182 of Walker This Way with Hazel Walker, the queen of all things
BNI and networking.
I am Mark Simmons. Hazel, how you doing?
You know, last week was a blur, so I'm still in the blur, as you can tell from my background. It all went so fast. It was such a good week, and we had such good events.
We did. We had great events last week. Part of the BNI Canada 2022 National Conference.
Yeah.
And we did member events locally. So speaking of member events, one of the less of an event, more of a thing that's coming up is leadership transition. And I got a message for all you new members. You cannot take on a role because you don't know enough. You're just new. You're newbies. So anyways, thank you for watching Walker This Way.
That is so not true.
But that's what I heard. I heard that when we were at one of our big member event was the thing. Like, you know, we're looking for people, but the new members can't do it because they don't know anything. I feel like this has to be a myth buster kind of.
It is a myth. This is a myth buster.
Yeah.
Because it's one of these things that happen all over the franchise where somehow a rule gets made up by somebody and it goes everywhere. And then everyone thinks it's like a legit rule, and there's no such thing.
Right.
Right. There's just no such thing. It's like the substitute policy. There's a recommendation that you not let someone abuse it.
Right.
But there's no hard and fast rule that it would be something the chapters could set individually. Right. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with new members serving. It's actually a good thing if the new members step in because they get to come to training and learn more about the systems. They're getting tied in more to your chapter, and they bring fresh new ideas. So why would you not let them serve?
Right.
Right. There's no reason to not let them be on any role in the leadership team, because this is one of my favorite sayings is, bring me a good attitude and I can teach you to do anything.
Right.
Right. So if a new member has a go get them good attitude and they really want to step into a role, let them.
Yeah.
Right. Because we can teach them. We can teach them everything they need to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I guess there's a membership committee. Let's talk about membership committee. Obviously, you wouldn't want all 4 members on the membership committee to be all new people.
It's
but
good
a
to have
mix
a good
for sure.
blend. Yes. Seasoned members and new members.
Right. But presidents, absolutely. Education coordinators, vice presidents, they'll learn. Correct.
That's how they're going to learn it. Because if you want to learn something and become good at it, teach it to someone else. Right? When you're teaching, you're learning. That means you're really putting it in and you're remembering it. That's the best way to learn something. It's the moment I have to teach it to someone, I remember everything about it.
And on another positive thing about being a new member on a leadership team is it is a much faster pathway to success for a new member because they're learning, how to be on the leadership team, but they're also learning a lot of the back end things on how to be successful in BNI, how to grow your business, just through all the training that they receive. So they're successful faster.
Correct. Because they're taking it all on. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And when you've got senior members who've been on over and over again, they tend to go, but we've always done it this way.
Right.
And a new member will look at it with fresh new vision, like they'll see it differently than maybe we see it. Now, sometimes they're going to see it differently and not a good way. We'll have to rein them back in, but that's okay. Senior members do that too. And, but sometimes they see something like, oh, why didn't we think of that? Mm-hmm. Right. So they'll bring new energy. This is especially true of the really older, smaller chapters. We've got a lot of senior members who've held all the positions over and over again. There's the other part of it though, Mark.
Yeah.
The senior members have to be willing to give up some control. Your job is to mentor and nurture the new member in the role, not to do it.
No, you can't give up control. That's crazy
you can't
talk.
give up control.
What?
You control freaks. Look at how much free time you get when you give up some control.
Yeah. And that becomes some of the intrepidation, not only for new members, but for a lot of members stepping into the leadership team roles is sometimes, yes, they get bullied by seasoned members. We know that happens.
Yeah.
But they come back to us and go, well, I wanted to try this, but they haven't done it before, or they told me I'm not allowed, or this is how we've always done it. So they don't do it. And what they get is what they had, which may or may not be working.
Right.
And so we're encouraging them to try it anyways, but work with your area directors, director consultants, chapter consultants.
Your chapter consultant, run everything by the chapter consultants in your leadership team.
Right.
And say, hey, I heard about this. I listened to a podcast. I did that, whatever. Let's see if we can implement this in our region. Always run it by our team so that we can make sure it's within our mission statement, our core values, and legalities.
Yeah. But the thing I think we need to stress and cannot stress enough is don't look at the shiny other things that your chapter's not doing till you've nailed the foundational pieces. The power of one, those are the foundational pieces. Inviting, foundation. Entering into the app, foundation.
Right.
Power of one things, do those, nail those, then you can start adding shiny new things.
Well, Mark Graber always says, and I've heard him say it many times, I cannot teach you algebra if you don't know your multiplications and your adding and subtracting.
Right.
Right. So we got to know our basics. We got to be able to count. We got to be able to add and subtract, and then we can start going on to bigger things.
Right.
But you got to make sure at least 85% of your members have the basics down cold.
Yeah.
Right. So stick to the basics and the fundamentals. And I'm happy to let new members, new things. It's good energy.
Yeah. So don't make up that new members are new and they don't know. They will know, and they'll bring, as Hazel's saying, great energy, new ideas, a fresh outlook at your chapter, and deserve the opportunity as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So hopefully we've just opened the door for more opportunities for members to step into leadership roles for you. And stay connected. And we're looking forward to working towards transition for the next leadership team.
It's always a lot of work, but it's always exciting to get the leadership teams.
And that's 2022-23. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Anyways, we won't get to that. All right. Till next time, Hazel.
Bye.
Bye.